गुड मॉर्निंग लिसनर्स। वेरी वेरी वार्म वेलकम। मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ आप सबकी दिवाली बहुत ही शानदार और हर्षोल्लास से भरी हुई थी। आप सभी को पूरी की पूरी आलमस टीम की तरफ से ढेर दिवाली की ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं। और अब मैं चालू करूंगा अपडेट्स। फ्राइडे इवनिंग वी सॉ इंटरवेंशन बाय द सेंट्रल बैंक्स विद सम विस्पर्स, Japanese central bank along with some whispers on the from the folks closer to the Fed on the rate hike scenarios, which actually led to dollar pairing some of the gains or the strength that it has gained over the period of time against all the currencies before closing. Now, that's what happened in the currency side, but also equities were looking to rejoice the kind of commentary that we have been seeing every bit. On the political side, we can say Rishi Sunak, who was in contention earlier with the prime ministerial position, was appointed as the next PM of UK yesterday. So, JK, quite a lot of developments happened in the financial markets on the central bank side as well as on the political side. So, can you just tell us a little more about what should we be expecting and how should markets be behaving?
Hey, good morning and happy Diwali to all. Yes, it has been an action-packed sessions in global market ever since our market closed on Friday. And even as New York opened on Friday, the whispers started in through a column in Wall Street Journal where they said Fed might be considering how much to raise in December, although 0.75% hike in November is well on the cards. So that gave some hints that Fed might be looking at the slowing economy and the impact that their rate hikes may be having going forward. Also, some reports suggested that Fed was not happy with the way market was starting to price in a terminal rate above 5%. So that was the trigger for yields to start coming off from around 4.35 in 10-year, and it fell as much as 15 to 16 basis points. And that was the opportunity that Bank of Japan also grabbed by intervening in dollar yen, although they have officially not confirmed they have intervened, but reports suggest that, and also the fact that dollar yen moved nearly 7 big figures indicates that, it could not be just an investor selling or profit taking. It has to be a big hand, and that has to be a central bank. And we did see dollar yen move from 151.95, well above the 150 psychological mark, which people thought would hold, down to around 145 half, although we are now back near 149. Yes, I think there is some impact on the intervention, but still, I think market does not believe probably that Japan cannot completely influence the dollar yen rate to the downside without a change in the policy. And the change in policy is a big thing because any move up in the Japanese yields will result in huge losses for Bank of Japan, which holds humongous amount of securities in their books. Stocks took use from these developments on the yields and also the Fed indications. So we had a 2-day rally in the stocks, which saw both Nasdaq and Dow Jones rally by 4.5%. But other global market, particularly on the Asian side, China and Hong Kong, they were completely on the other side. Hong Kong, in fact, lost as much as 7% yesterday and more than 1% again today. China also not doing well. So overall, global markets were gaining only 2.5% on the stocks. So Monday's across the board softness in PMIs, the Europe, UK, and US also confirmed expectations that global economic activity could be slowing and help the yields further lower and added to stock gains. So market starts to believe that the rate hikes by the Fed, particularly in the last 7 months, may be starting to have some effect. Market look forward to big tech companies results also this week for further boost. But on the economic side, more importantly, we have the GDP number from US on Thursday and the all important core PC price index on Friday, which will be key to see whether the inflation is actually softening or not. While the softening data in the West has been taken positively by the market, even the GDP number, which came better than expected in China, did not enthuse them because the retail sales were much lower, and also the reappointment of Xi and his team to lead the country was again seen as negative by investors because the indications are that they will follow more socially oriented policies, and that is not good for the investors. So again, news from China not encouraging for investors. Outflows continue, and Chinese yuan has hit a new all-time high in the offshore market and a new multi-decade high in the onshore market. So that has been actually impacting the Asian currencies as well. Investors, of course, will look forward to the upcoming data, and also the ECB meeting on Thursday, where the indications are that 0.75 hike by ECB is very much on the cards. Interesting will be what they indicate about the future rate path as well as the balance sheet reduction, and that will be a big impact on the euro. The other important moving factor has been the political development in UK, where the Conservative Party has chosen Rishi Sunak as a leader after two other contenders withdrew from the contest. Market has taken the news cautiously, although many believe that Sunak comes with a lot of credibility due to the way he handled the economy as a finance minister during the pandemic. While UK yields have dropped substantially, pound has failed to make further headway from 1.13 pivot, while political uncertainty has been taken care of as of now. The government is facing huge challenges to restore the confidence with global investors, even as the country's huge fiscal deficit needs to be funded. Yields have been very volatile, but UK yields are definitely leading the way down, and it's yielding 10-year yields now yielding 3.74% compared to 4.13 early on Friday, and compare it with 4.63 seen out in the mini budget of the previous finance minister. So we have seen some sympathetic move in US 10-year yields, but not much away from the highs of 4.35. It's now trading at 4.22. German yields, which hit multi-year high at 2.53, has since dropped to 2.34%. Indications that gas prices or the gas shortage in Europe has been substantially addressed, as well as the fall in the gas prices in Europe has led to these moves in the European yields as well. In the currency, as one would expect, yen has led the currency pack, but the a move in euro is also being supported by ECB's upcoming meeting, and the UK pound obviously taking cues from the political stability, which has been ensured for the time being. On the, of course, they will also look forward to the fiscal plan, which is scheduled to be presented by Mr. Hunt on 31st October. Yeah, and the Chinese yuan weakness is set to continue until the investors find some value. I mean, already we are seeing the stocks hitting pre-COVID levels in China, and also 2009 lows in Hang Seng. Maybe it's a matter of time before investors find some value buying in these stocks, but definitely it is down to Chinese authorities confirming a market-friendly approach before Chinese yuan and the stock markets there stabilize. On the rupee, yes, on Friday we saw a very huge intervention by RBI, particularly on the futures market, which has ensured that the rate did not cross 83. Even it did cross later, but it was very brief, and they continued to intervene. Now, slightly looking ahead, India's deficit is still very high. April-September trade deficit is more than 2.5 times of the comparable period of 2021. And coupled with the lack of flows and also the reserves, which are now fallen, and reserves are now covering only about 7 months of import, and that used to be more than 12 months of imports 1 year back. And also taking cues from the Chinese yuan. All these factors right now do not really show that rupee can have much strength despite the fall in the dollar index. So rupee is likely to be decoupled from the major currencies and take its own domestic conditions before it can achieve some stability. We still find that the RBI is the main seller. Also, one more factor that is influencing the rupee on the weaker side is the big fall in the forward premium, which is now down at 2.2% for 1 year, and that is not encouraging the exporters, to go ahead and commit themselves, even though spot is higher. While on a dip, importers find it, attractive to cover at least the near-term forward. So the fall in premium is also actually adding to some pressure on the rupee. So overall scenario for the rupee is still not very encouraging, although the central bank may continue to hold the weakness for some more time. Again, that's very risky to assume that they will be continued in the market, because that's the experience of the last 1 month or so. So all in all, we have very data-packed week, as well as volatility ensured everywhere, be it currencies or in the yields. And we do have another holiday tomorrow for the local market, so we'll come back on Thursday with the latest updates. Thank you.
Wonderful, JK. And a deficit of 2.5 times in relative terms for India on the trade side, quite a significant number, folks. And what do we also talk about is the import cover, which is at 7 months. These are some significant numbers on the macro side that we keep tracking for the currency strength, and these are concerning as of now. But what do we also see is CNH, or Chinese yuan, has reached the multi-decade highs on the backdrop of some outflows, as well as reappointment of Xi and a lot many other concerning factors when it comes to the Chinese economy. Another thing that we note is the ECB is having their meet this week with respect to their policy and their rate hikes, which we can see how Euro would be reacting to those particular rate hikes, and if there's any balance sheet reduction talks with the central bank in that particular meeting. All in all, yes, we had an action-packed set of days in the past few days. But what do we promise is the going ahead year is going to be even more wonderful and amazing for all of you. So as we enter the new year from tomorrow, basis the Hindu calendar, I wish all of you guys a very happy new year, or should I say नव वर्ष की आप सभी को बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं. हम वापस आएंगे with fresh updates on Thursday again. Thank you so much for listening.